Hello students, today we are going to learn about the drainage system of Africa. In the previous lesson, we have seen about the different climatic characteristics of Africa and also the factors that affect the climatic condition of Africa. Today, we will discuss about the drainage system of Africa. The entire area that a river drains is called catchment area or drainage basin. Africa has 9 major rivers. These are the Nile River, the Congo River, Zambezi, Limpopo, Orange, Niger, Volta, Gambia, and Senegal River. There are 4 major drainage systems in Africa. These are the Atlantic Ocean drainage system, the Indian drainage system, the Mediterranean Sea drainage system, and the closed or inland drainage system. When you see the Atlantic Ocean drainage system, it is the largest in terms of catchment area, annual discharge, and drainage density. All rivers flow south and westward empty to the Mediterranean Sea. The main river basins that constitute these systems are the Congo, the Niger, Volta, Gambia, Orange, and Senegal River. Let's move to the second drainage system, about the Indian Ocean drainage system. All rivers drain to eastward enter to the Indian Ocean. This drainage system is the second largest in terms of catchment and annual discharge. The main basins in this system are the Zambezi, the Wabi-Shabele, and the Juba River. The Mediterranean Sea drainage system. This drainage system includes all major rivers that flow north into the Mediterranean Sea. In this system, the only one major river is the Nile River. Major tributary of the Nile, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. The source of White Nile is Lake Victoria, which is found in Uganda, while the Blue Nile emerges from Lake Tana. It is found in Ethiopia. Let us move to the closed or inland drainage system. The rivers of Africa that do not have direct access to the sea, known as inland drainage system. Most of the rivers in this system have multiple flow direction because it's affected by a relief feature. It receives nearly 4% of the continent's total annual runoff. The Awash and Gibe or Omo River in Ethiopia belongs to this group. The Chad Basin is the largest inland basin in Africa. Let us move to the general characteristics of Africa river. Africa rivers has a steep long profile because most of the rivers have steep course due to the continent relief. Waterfall and rapid is the second characteristics of African river. Africa river seasonally fluctuated due to rainy season increase its volume, when the dry season the volume decrease. The other characteristics of African river is deltic mosses and mangrove swamps. This is due to the low pressure force along their lower course. African rivers are exotic in nature because the rivers flow long distance. Because of this, the river lost their volume because of evaporation and seepage. Let's move to lakes of Africa. Lakes of Africa divided into types. These are natural and artificial. Based on the location, natural Africas are divided into two. These are Rift Valley lakes and non-Rift Valley lakes. The Rift Valley lakes occupy the floor of the Great East Africa Rift Valley. Examples of Rift Valley lakes in Africa are Lake Turkana, Lake Tanganyika, and Rift Valley Lake of Ethiopia. For example, Shala, Abaya lakes, Lake Hawassa are an example of Rift Valley lakes in Ethiopia. The major non-Rift Valley natural lakes include Victoria, Chad, Dana. Dana is the largest highland lake in Ethiopia. Let's move to the artificial lakes of Africa. Artificial or anthropogenic lakes of Africa are mostly used for hydroelectric power and for irrigation purpose. The main anthropogenic lakes in Africa are Nasser, Koga, Volta, Kaneji, and Caribbean lakes are an example of anthropogenic lakes. Major use of Africa lakes and rivers are for the purpose of hydroelectric power, for irrigation purpose, for fishing, navigation, tourism, and recreation. Let us see about dams of Africa. Aswan High Dams, constructed over Nile River, which is found in Egypt. On Fells, constructed over White Nile, which is found in Uganda. Koga, built over Awash, which is found in Ethiopia. Akosombo, constructed over Volta, found in Ghana. Kenyaji, constructed over Niger, which is found in Nigeria. Caribbean, constructed over Zambezi, which is found between Zambia and Zimbabwe. Inga 1 and 2, constructed over Congo, which is found in Congo. Gibe 1 and 2 constructed over Gilgal Gibe, which is found in Ethiopia. Takaze constructed over Takaze River, found in Ethiopia. These are the dams of Africa. Let us move to the major vegetation zone of Africa. There are 5 major vegetation of Africa. These are the tropical rainforest, the tropical grassland or savanna, desert and semi-desert vegetation, Afro mountain or Afro Alpine vegetation, and the Mediterranean vegetation. Let us see about the tropical rainforest vegetation. The tropical rainforest vegetation develop in areas with equatorial climate. In equatorial region, depending on the previous lesson, the region has high temperature and heavy rainfall. All months of the region receive high rainfall because of the ocean winds continuously blow to the equatorial area. So, in this area we get evergreen forests in this area. In the world, the most extensive equatorial forest is found in Amazon basin. In Africa, the most extensive rainforest is found in Congo basin. The rainforest have 3 layers. These are top layers made up of tall trees. It has 13 to 50 meter height. And middle layers made up of tree ferns, lianos, heights between 19 to 34 minutes. Bottom layers consist of ferns, as prophytes means plants which live on dead plants. This grouped under bottom layers. Most of the trees are hardwood, like mahogany, ebony, and rosewood. This area have high species diversity and thick growth. Let's move to the tropical grassland or savanna. This kind of vegetation develop in area of seasonal rainfall. This vegetation mostly extensively develop in areas that have wet summer and dry winter. Savanna areas that are close to the equatorial rainforest receive more rainfall compared to areas at the edge of the other desert. There are 3 savanna zones in Africa. These are, the first one is park savanna, or it has wetter climate, or we call it wet savanna. It is found close to the rainforest and made up of many trees and grasses. The second one is high or true savanna. This type of grassland is developed between the wetter and the drier savanna. It is made up of more grasses and contains scattered trees. The last one is thorn scrubs or drier savanna. This savanna zone is developed along the desert region, and it's made up of short grasses with widely scattered thorny trees. Let's move to the desert and semi-desert vegetation of Africa. Desert and semi-desert vegetation developed in areas where rainfall is scant. The Sahara is the largest desert in the world. Why is the Sahara area is desert? Because of its location, depend on the previous lesson. So, the Sahara is the largest desert in the world. The Namib Desert and the Sahel region of Africa have such type of vegetation. The general name of plants that grow in desert area known as xerophytes. Desert plants have different mechanisms for adaptation. They have long roots that can penetrate deep to reach underground water table. They short water in their spongy leaves, stems, roots. In general, desert vegetation have long roots, oily leaves. These oily leaves, or they have few or no leaves. This is important for them to reduce the amount of transpiration. Let's move to the Afro mountain or Afro Alpine vegetation. This type of vegetation develops over the tropical highland of Africa, mainly in Ethiopian and East African highlands. The vegetation consists of highland or temperate forests and temperate grassland. For example, alpine plants are cold-resistant plants like Asta and Gibberella in Ethiopia grow in area with altitude above 3,000 meters. This type of, the last type of African vegetation is the Mediterranean vegetation. This type of vegetation develops in the Mediterranean climate. In this area, citrus crops mostly grow, and macus are an example of the Mediterranean type of vegetation. Students, please think about this activity. What are the factors that affect natural vegetation of Africa? Natural vegetation of Africa affected by mainly deforestation. Deforestation means clearing forests for different purposes. Why people clear forests? For settlement purpose, for expansion of farming, and for fuel wood. And the second factor is our grazing, wildfire, and also the expansion of settlement and farmland is the main reason for factors that affecting natural vegetation of Africa. What are the possible conservation measures? The possible conservation measures are reforestation, afforestation, agroforestry, social forestries are the main possible conservation measure. Let's move to wild animal of Africa. Africa has different animals. For example, the grassland dominated by big animals like carnivores and omnivorous animal, herbivorous animal, mostly found in the Africa, and also the equatorial areas. The region hosts different kind of tree climbing, known as arboreal animals like monkeys, apes, baboons, and gorilla, birds, and aquatic animals mostly found in Africa. What is the use of wild animal of Africa? Wild animal of Africa used for different purposes. For example, they are used as a source of animal protein, helps to maintain the balance of nature, and serve as a source of income through tourism, provide scientific and educational opportunity to researchers, and provide input like industrial raw material. What are the factors that affect wild animals? These factors are illegal hunting, human encouragement, deforestation, overgrazing, and desertification are the major factors that affect the wild animal of Africa. Let us move to the major soil type of Africa. The Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, FAO, classified the soils of Africa into several groups. These are pedalfers, pedicels, hydromorphic soil, and zonal soil. Let us start from pedalfers. These pedalfers rich in aluminum and iron. It is the largest group of soil. Soil of these groups includes the following. The first one is Vertosols. These Vertosols are found in central part of Africa around the equatorial forest and savanna lands. This soil mostly affected by leaching, so it has red and yellow color. The soil mostly found in area of heavy rainfall. They are characterized by high concentration of iron, clay, and aluminum. Generally, these soil are leached soil. The second soil is netto soil. This soil mostly develop in the humid climatic region. These parent materials are usually volcanic rocks. Such soils are deep profile and rich in humus, so these are most productive soil in Africa. The third type of soil is agri soils. These are soils that develop in hilly areas within wet tropical and monsoon climate. The soil are weathered, acidic, and shallow, so these soil are unproductive. The other type of soil are alluvial soil. These soil are developed in Mediterranean climatic region of the continent. They have mineral reserves and are fertile. And the other one is fluvial soils, developed in seasonally floodplains, valleys, and tidal marshes. They are found in the Nile, Zambezi river deltas. They have brown in color. Most of these soil are young and fertile. They are suitable for large-scale irrigation. The second one is pedicels. Under pedicels group, this soil is known as Vertosols. These soil are black basaltic soil with clay character. During dry season, it became cracked. During wetter season, it became sticky. As a result, the working such soil is very laborious. Generally, they are used for grazing. The second one is calcium soil. They are found in the Sahara and Namibia desert of Africa. So they are potentially fertile in terms of mineral contents, but poor in humus. Because of this type of soil left only for grazing purpose. Calcium soil are found in the Sahara and Namibia desert. They are potentially fertile in terms of mineral content. They are poor in humus. These soil are used mostly for grazing purpose. The third type of African soil is hydromorphic soil. Glass soils is an example of hydromorphic soil. Like solonchaks, they are found in depression and low-lying areas of shallow groundwater. In Africa, these soils are used for production of rice, sugarcane, yam, and vegetable. The last type of Africa soil is zonal soils. An example of a zonal soil is Vertosols. They are found in humid tropical of Africa. The semi-arid zone of South Sahara, Southwest Africa, and Africa's coastal plains have this type of soil. They are used mainly for grazing purpose and drying farming. The second type of zonal soil is Vertosols. They are found in areas extending from West Africa to Ethiopia and Somalia. This type of soil used for pastoral grazing. The last type of African soil is Vertosols. Vertosols are young, shallow, and stony soil that are highly affected by erosion and drought. This type of soil are found strongly in uplands of North Africa, the Saharan, and in the South Central and Eastern Africa. Soil erosion and environmental degradation are among the major problems. The major cause of soil erosion and degradation in the continent include traditional farming practice, overgrazing, and deforestation. The main conservation measures are in Africa: terracing, agroforestry, afforestation, reforestation, strip cultivation is planting 2 or more types of crop on the same farming, and counterplowing, crop rotation are the most conservation methods of soil erosion. Generally today, we have seen about drainage of Africa, lakes of Africa, dams of Africa, and natural vegetation of Africa, and at the last, soils of Africa. So please do these activities, students. The first question is, what is meant by drainage basin, drainage system, and discharge? The second question is, what factors affect the drainage system of Africa? The last question is, which are the major rivers and drainage system of Africa? It is our today lesson. Next period, we will discuss about population. Thank you, students.